That's on them blood clot, Rosie. What they are? Cause there's some blood clot, right wide.
Rick Ross's latest album, Set in Stone, was already making headlines before fans even had the chance to hear it. The announcement immediately sparked intense discussion across social media, with reactions ranging from excitement to skepticism. While many supporters were eager to see what the rap veteran had to offer, others questioned whether the project could live up to the high expectations surrounding his name. Much of that skepticism stemmed from the lingering fallout of Ross's involvement in the highly publicized 2024 feud with Drake. His diss track, Champagne Moments, generated plenty of attention, but received mixed reactions from listeners, and the debate surrounding that record never fully disappeared. At the same time, some fans have argued that Ross's releases throughout the 2020s have not reached the same cultural impact as many of the projects that helped establish his legacy. Even before Set in Stone officially dropped, another statement from Rick Ross quickly fueled online conversation. Ahead of the album's release, Ross said that he had already been paid regardless of how the project ultimately performed on the charts. That comment immediately caught the attention of fans, with many wondering whether he was signaling confidence in the music or simply emphasizing that commercial success would not define the project.
Speaking to the true hip-hop lovers, never get caught up in the propaganda and the fake bot numbers. Go to the product. Test the dope. How amazing is the music. Ricky Rose, Set in Stone, the album of the year. It's out now, everybody that's posting, downloading, streaming. Oh man, it's a beautiful thing.
Then came release day, and another major talking point emerged. Listeners quickly noticed that Set in Stone featured guest appearances on most of its tracks, a creative decision that divided opinion across social media. As fans debated the album itself, early sales projections also began circulating online, shifting the conversation beyond the music. Within hours, attention had turned not only to the songs, but also to how the album might perform commercially, setting the stage for an even bigger story that was about to unfold. As the first sales projections for Set in Stone began circulating, the conversation took an unexpected turn. Instead of focusing solely on the music, much of the attention shifted toward the album's commercial outlook. Early forecasts suggested that the project was unlikely to debut inside the Billboard 200's top 20, with first-week sales projected at fewer than 26,000 units. Those estimates quickly spread across social media, turning the album's rollout into one of the biggest talking points in hip-hop. For many longtime fans, the projections came as a surprise. Rick Ross built his reputation on a string of successful releases, with several albums debuting near the top of the charts during the peak of his career. Because of that history, the early forecasts immediately sparked comparisons between his previous commercial success and the changing reality of today's music industry. At the same time, industry observers pointed out that the landscape is very different from what it was a decade ago. Streaming has completely transformed the way music is consumed, making blockbuster first-week sales far less common than they once were. Outside of a handful of global superstars, even established artists often face greater challenges when it comes to delivering massive opening week numbers. That broader shift became an important part of the discussion as fans debated whether the projections reflected the album itself or the current state of the industry. Even with those projections dominating the headlines, Rick Ross had already made his position clear. Before the album's release, he publicly stated,
"As a hustler, the hustler I am, listen, ain't nothing wrong with trying new dope. You weren't satisfied with the other dope that was in the trap, that's cool. We open! We open!" That's how the Miami Dope Boys did it. In the Matchbox, out there in the city on 15th, Big Sonny, what it do? Gigavelli, what it do? Ricky Rose, this for the big dreamers. Don't never come to the table with premeditated hate.
That he had already been paid for the project, suggesting that he was not measuring its success solely by first-week sales. However, as those estimates continued to gain traction online, another familiar voice entered the conversation. 50 Cent wasted little time reacting on Instagram, sharing a series of posts that mocked the reported projections and reignited one of hip-hop's longest-running rivalries, turning an album rollout into an even bigger social media spectacle. The story took another dramatic turn when 50 Cent entered the conversation. As early sales projections for Set in Stone continued making headlines, the rapper wasted no time sharing a series of Instagram posts that immediately went viral. Given the long history between the two artists, many fans expected a reaction, but few expected him to respond so quickly or so publicly. In one of his first posts, 50 Cent suggested that Rick Ross should go back to the drawing board following the album's reported performance. He wrote, "So when your tickets don't sell and your album don't sell, what do? Promote car shows and sell chicken wings? LOL." The post spread rapidly across social media, with thousands of fans weighing in on the latest chapter of one of hip-hop's most enduring rivalries. He wasn't finished there. In another Instagram post, 50 Cent took aim at the album's long guest list, writing, "You had 20 features and it didn't help. All right now, pack it up. It's over, officer." The remark added even more momentum to the online discussion, as fans debated both the album's performance and the ongoing feud between the two rap veterans. Rick Ross, however, chose a different approach. Rather than responding directly to 50 Cent's comments, he posted a series of videos to his Instagram stories, steering the conversation back toward the music itself. Ross encouraged fans to judge Set in Stone based on its quality instead of its first week sales, while also expressing appreciation to those who had purchased, streamed, and supported the album since its release. His response introduced a different perspective into the debate, but it did little to slow the online conversation. Instead, social media became even more divided, with some people arguing that commercial success remains an important measure of an album's impact, while others maintained that the music should ultimately speak for itself. Whatever side fans landed on, one thing became clear. The rivalry between 50 Cent and Rick Ross had once again become one of the biggest stories in hip-hop, generating headlines far beyond the album itself. What makes this story even more compelling is that it goes far beyond a single album release. Instead, it has reignited one of hip-hop's most enduring rivalries, a feud that has lasted for well over a decade and continues to grab headlines whenever either artist makes a major move. Over the years, 50 Cent and Rick Ross have exchanged countless public shots through interviews, social media, and their music. Because of that history, many fans expected 50 Cent to react as soon as Set in Stone became a major topic online. That's exactly what happened. Once early sales projections began circulating, he quickly shared a string of viral Instagram posts, transforming the album's reported commercial performance into yet another chapter of their long-running feud. The response across social media was immediate. Some fans focused on the projected sales figures, while others argued that the music itself deserved more attention than the numbers. Rick Ross attempted to redirect the conversation by encouraging listeners to judge the album on its quality, but 50 Cent's posts had already sparked a wave of reactions that continued spreading across multiple platforms. Regardless of where the album ultimately lands on the charts, Set in Stone has already accomplished one thing. It has become one of the most talked about releases in hip-hop this year. Between the early projections, the viral social media exchange, and the renewed spotlight on one of rap's biggest rivalries, the story has grown far beyond the album itself, keeping fans watching closely to see what happens next. As the debate continues, all eyes are now on what happens next. The coming weeks will provide a clearer picture of how Set in Stone performs as official chart results and longer-term streaming numbers become available. Regardless of where the album ultimately lands, its release has already become one of the most talked about hip-hop stories of the moment, fueled by chart projections, social media reactions, and the latest exchange between Rick Ross and 50 Cent. For 50 Cent, the situation once again highlighted his ability to dominate online conversations with just a few Instagram posts. His comments quickly spread across social media, generating millions of views and reigniting a rivalry that has remained relevant for years. Every time one of these artists makes headlines, the other often becomes part of the conversation, keeping their long-running feud firmly in the public spotlight. At the same time, some fans have pointed out that 50 Cent has not released a full studio album since Animal Ambition in 2014. That fact is often brought up whenever he critiques another artist's commercial performance, leading to renewed discussions about whether he will eventually return with a new album of his own. Despite stepping away from releasing new studio projects, 50 Cent has remained one of the most successful figures in entertainment. His focus has shifted toward television production, business ventures, and live performances, allowing him to expand his brand well beyond music. His final lap tour was widely reported as a major commercial success, generating more than $100 million in revenue and demonstrating that demand for his catalog remains exceptionally strong. Whether or not he decides to release another album, his influence continues to be felt across both the music industry and the broader entertainment world, ensuring that his comments still carry significant weight whenever a major hip-hop story unfolds. What started as a conversation about album sales has now turned into one of the biggest stories in hip-hop. The release of Set in Stone quickly became about much more than the music itself, as early sales projections, viral Instagram posts, and years of history between 50 Cent and Rick Ross combined to create another headline-grabbing chapter in their long-running rivalry. As fans wait for the official Billboard results, the debate continues to gain momentum across social media. Some are focused on the projected first-week numbers, while others believe the album should be judged on its music rather than its commercial performance. At the center of the discussion are 50 Cent's widely shared Instagram posts and Rick Ross's response urging listeners to evaluate the project for themselves instead of focusing on sales headlines. The exchange has also drawn attention to a much bigger story: the dramatic transformation of the music industry over the last decade. In today's streaming era, album success is measured very differently than it was in the past. Streaming plays, digital downloads, physical albums, and other qualifying formats all contribute to first-week totals, making commercial performance more complex than ever before. Because of that, early projections often generate major headlines long before official chart results are released, fueling debate across the industry. No matter where Set in Stone ultimately lands on the charts, one thing is already clear. The latest back and forth between 50 Cent and Rick Ross has once again captured the attention of the hip-hop world. Their rivalry continues to generate enormous interest, proving that even years later, a single album release or social media post can instantly become one of the biggest talking points in rap. For artists with careers as influential as Rick Ross and 50 Cent, every new release and every public comment comes under intense scrutiny. Both have spent decades building their legacies, which is why even a single Instagram post or album rollout can dominate headlines across the hip-hop world. This latest exchange has become about much more than Set in Stone. It has reignited debates about commercial success, artistic legacy, and what truly defines an artist's impact in today's music industry. As official chart numbers continue to emerge, the conversation surrounding Set in Stone is far from over. Fans are closely watching to see how the album ultimately performs, while the online debate continues to revolve around early sales projections, 50 Cent's viral Instagram posts, and Rick Ross's message that listeners should judge the music on its own merits. Regardless of which side people support, the renewed rivalry has once again become one of the biggest stories in hip-hop. One thing is certain: whenever 50 Cent and Rick Ross cross paths publicly, the reactions are immediate. The discussions are intense, and social media erupts with opinions from every direction. This latest chapter is another reminder that their long-running feud continues to capture attention years after it first began. Now we want to hear from you. What do you think about this latest exchange between 50 Cent and Rick Ross? Do album sales still matter as much in today's streaming era, or should the music be the only thing that counts? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, share it with other hip-hop fans, and turn on notifications so you never miss our next update.